Good evening and welcome to Ukraine Brief. I'm Salia Stremska and today marks 1,444 days since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In the beginning of a major new round of pressure on Moscow, the European Union has unveiled its 20th package of sanctions against Russia. The measures presented by Ursula von der Leyen include a full ban on maritime services for Russian crude oil, new import restrictions on metals, chemicals and critical minerals, and expanded measures targeting Russia's shadow fleet.
We are listing 43 more vessels part of the shadow fleet, reaching 640 in total. We also make it more difficult for Russia to acquire tankers to be used for the shadow fleet and add sweeping bans on provision of maintenance and other services for LNG tankers and icebreakers to further dent gas export projects. This complements our ban on LNG imports agreed with the 19th package and the Repower EU regulation.
Russian strikes on Ukraine have continued despite peace talks that wrapped up on Thursday in Abu Dhabi. On Friday, Russian forces hit residential areas in several parts of the country, mostly along the front line, launching around 300 Shahed drones. Russia has once again struck Sumy region in the north of the country. The attacks damaged residential buildings and triggered a large fire in a residential area. The threat of repeated double-tap attacks forced emergency crews to suspend firefighting operations several times. Ukrainian officials say Russian forces have repeatedly used this tactic to cause additional casualties and damage. Authorities report that one person was killed and several others wounded in attacks across the region. In Zaporizhia region, Russian forces shelled the city of Vilnyansk. The attacks destroyed a house, killing a married couple inside. Their 14-year-old child was injured and taken to hospital. In a separate attack in the region, a Russian strike damaged an animal shelter, killing and injuring animals. A shelter worker also suffered injuries. In the Donetsk region, the city of Slovyansk came under attack 5 times over the past 24 hours. According to regional police, Russian forces dropped 2 aerial bombs and struck the city with various types of kamikaze drones. It damaged apartment buildings, houses and civilian vehicles. A Ukrainian soldier was killed in the southern city of Odessa after his vehicle exploded. Security services have described the incident as a terrorist attack. The explosion occurred in the early morning on Friday. Local police said the victim was a 21-year-old man from Odessa. Later that same day, Ukraine's security service, known as SBU, classified the incident as a terrorist act because a remotely detonated explosive device was used. Ukrainian authorities say Russian special services often recruit teenagers to carry out such attacks in exchange for some cash. Now to Kyiv, where a thermal power plant damaged in recent Russian attacks will take months to repair. The facility had been providing heat to more than 1,000 households. The Darnitsia plant suffered critical damage after a Russian strike on Tuesday. It provided heating to more than 1,100 households across 2 districts. The city has already set up additional heating points for affected residents to warm up. Just one day after the strike, over 60 foreign diplomats visited the site to see the destruction firsthand. Experts are still evaluating the full extent of the damage, but are already saying it will take several months to fully restore the plant. Now some good news for a change. Another batch of power generators has arrived in Kyiv from Poland, this time donated by the Kraków branch of the charity organization Caritas. Trucks from Kraków delivered power generators, heaters and food to Kyiv. The aid comes from Caritas Kraków and was organized by the current Metropolitan Archbishop of the city, Cardinal Grzegorz Ryś. This is the second round of aid from the initiative, and more donations are expected to follow. Now to Russia, where power outages have been reported in the Belgorod region following a reported missile attack that damaged energy infrastructure. Local authorities and Telegram channels reported missiles headed towards Belgorod thermal power plant late Thursday night, following earlier reports of drone attacks on one of its substations. Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov said he personally inspected the site and described the damage as, quote, serious. These outages follow a separate blackout in Belgorod that occurred on February 3rd, when electricity and communications were cut across the city and surrounding areas. And with this, we conclude Ukraine Brief. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.